Mr. Zim here. Today, guys, I am in Hwedza and I'm here to see some farming projects that are happening right here in Hwedza. Today, I will be checking out a farm which belongs to somebody who is a resident in the UK. He spends most of his time in the UK, but he's actually running a successful farm here in Zimbabwe. The mainstay of his business are the chickens. He's doing in excess of 10,000 chickens, but he's also got goats and he has the fish. So I'm here to learn and to share that experience with you as we learn and ask him questions about the farm, guys. I hope you'll be inspired by what's happening here. The farm is only 6 hectares, but on 6 hectares he's doing wonders on this farm, guys, and I hope this video can inspire somebody to do the same. So yeah, stay put and do watch until the end. Hi Gibson.
Hello, sir. Good to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us at your farm.
Absolutely.
Man. So first things first, Gibson, you have lived in England for so long. I think you said
I know.
30 years.
Most of my life I've been in England, yes.
England, yeah.
Yes, amongst other places in the world, but mostly in England, yeah.
And what inspired you to say, you know what, I'm going to go to Zimbabwe, find a farm and get into poultry farming?
I have absolutely no idea how I got here. I came to Hwedza once. I fell in love with the place, and this is my happy place. This is my happy place. I'm much more happier when I'm here.
Okay.
So with what we are doing here, it makes me even much more happier.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Before starting this venture, did you have a background in agriculture?
Not a single background, not a single piece of information. But I think one of the most grateful thing about my life is the fact that I've been able to start things with no experience. I tend to surround myself with people that are much more knowledgeable than myself in terms of what it is I'm trying to achieve. And then I try and deliver. One of our chaps who's working here and overseeing everything, he's been doing this for the last 25 years. Wow. Yeah, so he's done it on major scales. What we are doing is only minor to compare to what he's done.
Okay, so you're saying the major thing is the human resource component.
Yeah, that's my expertise, to build the right teams around me and get people to do it.
And what sort of challenges did you encounter setting this up?
I'm not from Hwedza, so coming here it's almost like starting all over in a foreign country. They weren't so welcoming, but I didn't really think much about that. I just put my head down, made a few friends. Greatest challenge was trying to get the place off the ground in terms of just the labor, the local labor. All
right, so the labor you have is all local?
It's local, but trying to get the right people who have who want to work.
Yes.
It was like pulling teeth. And
I can imagine.
Getting the fence done, I think the guy took almost 3 months to put the fence. We paid him 50% of the deposit and they just vanished.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And how did you get him to finish?
We just said some kind words. Like I said, I have very good people around me. They were the ones who were chasing him around, but
maybe
it wasn't a good moment. But it's those moments that make me strong. And
maybe you thought since you're UK based, you can easily get away with your money.
Yeah.
But tell me, so you're in the UK. How do you manage, say, the day-to-day, the efficiency of the farm, the security, the theft, the money, from the revenues and things like that from the UK?
So as you've seen, we've got a 24-hour guard. There are dogs, and our guards are armored. We don't take things to chance because silly things happen in life, and we're always trying to make sure we protect our staff and everybody feels safe. But also, this is my pension. It's my I want to make sure that everything here is preserved. You asked me about how we keep things going. Like I said, we had some bad people that worked for us initially, and I managed to get rid of everybody and just kept one person who had started with me from day one. Then brought in a completely different team with a little bit of expertise. Yes. I keep updated on a need by basis. They only tell me things that I need to know, because I don't want to get involved too much in terms of the operations. I just want to know. I just want to make sure that everything that they need here, they have. And as you've seen, our chickens are a 5-week cycle, so we know exactly how much you're going to spend for those 5 weeks in terms of our wages. So everything is pretty much done, on a plan.
Systematic.
Yeah, it's systematic. Yeah.
What's the capacity of this shelter?
So this one is a potential of about 12,000 beds.
All right.
Yeah.
And is it complete as it is?
So we've had 2 placements so far. We've just had our last batch, which went out a couple of weeks. So we're just going to do a couple more renovations and then have our 3rd placement. So we've already had 2 batches of 12,000, which have gone in the last 2 months. Okay. So it's like every 5 weeks.
How long did it take you to build this kind of structure?
So this one, it was one of my impromptu decisions. I was in Zim and I just felt what we have at the top there wasn't ideal enough. So this one we built it within 3 weeks. Wow. Yeah, it took 3 weeks. It was very, very hard work for those 3 weeks.
Is it an architectural design? Or
so my brother-in-law designs the one at the top there.
All right.
And then this one, the colleagues that work here are the ones that came up with the idea. So this is 10 meters that way, and believe it or not, it's 85 meters to go that way.
That's 85 meters. And that can take about 12,000
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
So I wonder how long it will take you from there to run up to there. They'll be able to do it within 10 seconds.
No, I can't do 10 seconds.
I didn't think so.
And where do you source the bricks and the materials?
We try to be as ethical as we can and to support local businesses. So everything we get here is sourced locally. Okay. We buy from Hwedza Center, so that's where we buy most of our stuff here.
So you do uplift the local community.
Yeah, that's what we are trying to do.
Ah, amazing, eh?
Yeah.
I see the goats are lingering as well.
Absolutely.
Is this a side business?
Just love to see animals roam and it also gives me a sense of joy. Like, you're my guest today. I'll get my mkwasha here to slaughter one for you.
So how many goats do you have here?
So at the moment, we've got just under, I think it's about 95 or 96, I believe. Wow. Yeah. We did, last Christmas, we did a Christmas package mainly for people in the diaspora. So I can't even remember how much it was. I'm sure it was about $100. So for one slaughtered goat and 10 slaughtered chickens, we were doing it for $100. Okay. So a lot of my friends and family abroad managed to buy for their friends and family back in Zim.
Yeah. I saw as we were coming in, we had to dip our feet in chemical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that part of your biosecurity?
So yes, that's part of our biosecurity, because believe it or not, our shoes and our hands, we got a lot of germs. And as you've seen, we went into the chicken poultry earlier on. It's just to make sure we protect our animals and we don't take anything in there that we shouldn't be taking.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's a must.
Yeah, it's a must. Yeah. Nobody comes here without the security letting them in, without the cars being checked. Even myself, I have to be frisked each time I come here.
I saw the tires were getting sprayed.
Absolutely.
Oh, I see.
So,
okay.
Yeah, chickens are very sensitive. If one of them catches a bug or a cold, it can potentially wipe the whole stock.
Well, what failures have you had before having a successful venture? Or did you just start off on a high note?
We had a very bad batch that we bought from one supplier, and we lost almost 1,500 chickens out of only 5,000. Wow. So that was painful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We've also had issues where some of the chicks, they don't develop.
They don't grow.
They don't grow.
And yet they eat.
Yes. Wow. Some of the challenges that we've had is just operational, not knowing what we are doing. But I think that was good to happen in the early days, because that's then made me realize that we need to bring in people who know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
So we've learned quite a lot of those from those challenges, painful and expensive as they were. Yeah. But we live and learn.
Of course.
Absolutely.
What is your long-term vision for this farm here?
So we've got chickens, we've got fish, and we've got goats. I'm still contemplating whether we should go into pig farming. But the long term is to be self-sufficient as much as we can in terms of our meat. We've also tried to do some butternuts and watermelons. That didn't go so well, thanks to these goats. They just vandalized everything. I had this plan which we were going to pen feed them.
Right.
So they decided to let them out. Come, I'll show you. And the day they let them out, what are the chances? We had watermelons here. Yeah. And chibage and butternuts. Everything within an hour.
Everything was gone.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So not only did we pay for the tractor, we also paid for the seed. Look at that.
For the watermelons.
Look at all that.
I can still see some of the watermelons.
Gone to waste.
Yeah.
These were butternuts, I think, or watermelons.
Watermelons. How is the market for chickens?
The market is very buoyant. We've got, as probably, I don't know whether you were with me earlier on. We don't officially open our market until tomorrow, but some of our buyers already want to come here. Okay. They want to come here and sleep here tonight. To
make sure they get
to make sure they get the first dibs, because our average weight should be about 2.4 kgs per chicken, but this has been one of our best ones so far. I think when we went down earlier on, you saw that some of the chickens are 3 kgs, which
yes, I saw that.
Which is really a first for us. So, but it just shows you the level of work and commitment that these guys have. So some of our clients have already called me and they say they're going to be here by 10 o'clock tonight. Wow. Because they want to get the best out of what we have.
Yeah. And how long do you think it will take to clear? You've got 10,000 birds?
So at the moment we've got about almost 10,200. We took about 10,500 and we lost about 300, which is not bad because the mortality rate shouldn't be more than 3%. All right. So we got 10,200 at the moment. So
and, how long do you think that will take you to sell out?
At this rate, we should have all of them by Wednesday. It'll probably take about 3 days.
3 days to do 10,000.
Yeah.
And tell me this: what impact has your farm had on the local Hwedza community?
So I'm now celebrated as one of the sons of Hwedza. They've embraced me. And I think it was a couple of days that one of my staff was telling me that one of the local MPs wants to come and visit us because they're amazed at the level of things that are happening here. And this is one of those resettlement schemes. So they like to make sure they've given people land. This is only about 6 hectares and we're only using just less than a hectare. So that's been a good story for the local chiefs and the local hierarchy, because this is an example of us actually utilizing the land and creating employment. We've probably got about 16 people that are working on this farm full time. Yeah.
Right. I see some are swimming in the pond.
I know.
What are they trying to achieve there?
So, like you saw earlier when we were trying desperately to see if we can get some fish there. So I think these guys are taking a hit for the team to try and see if there's anything. Again, it just shows you the level of commitment that the staff have, because they don't need to be doing this. Yeah. But they want to see what is in the water.
What's the capacity of this pond?
So we put 6,000 in here.
6,000 fishlings.
Yeah.
I know you do chickens as your main business. You've got the goats as well. What motivated you to put fish here?
I suppose it's trying to eat organic.
Okay.
And my age as well, I have to start looking after the old body. So I like to know what I'm eating. So hopefully this will be good. Okay. But also we want to try and create a brand and do some sales of some sort. We'll see how that pans out.
I see. So this is more like a trial, like a practice ground.
Absolutely.
Before you go big.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's your source of water?
So the water comes from the bore, which is at the top of the farm there. Yeah, that's where we
got one borehole for the whole farm.
Yeah, we've got plenty of water here.
Okay, how deep is the borehole?
I think we went about 75 meters. Okay. Yeah, but we managed to get water just after 25 meters. Wow. Yeah.
And what is your background in terms of profession? To tell us, from finishing high school, you through your career up until this point.
So I went to one of the best schools in Zim, not far away from here. Probably people don't realize how good that school was. I went to Bernard Mizaki. All right. I did my GCSEs. And I didn't do so well. I did very, very badly.
So well, you mean a few A's and?
I never got a few. I got 5 C's. Okay. I didn't even pass math. I didn't even pass English. I didn't even pass Shona. That's how bad my grades were. Then, but that didn't bother me. I always knew I wanted to be do something different with my life. So I always knew I wanted to go into leadership. I wanted to go into business. So when I went then to the UK, just did a few access courses and did a couple of professional courses in IT. So when I initially settled in the UK, I started working as a help desk analyst, which is a horrible job.
Ooh, lovely, man.
People will call in and say, they've forgotten their passwords and whatnot and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I would reset. That's what I'll be doing. It was a dead end job. But I soon realized that I had unique skills, which were, leadership skills, and people say that I'm a good communicator. So I ended up going into project management and worked in so many different, private and government organizations, and did a few businesses that didn't go so well. So I did project management up to program director. I did that for almost 20 years in the UK. Worked in the UAE for a couple of years. So that's been pretty much my life in terms of working. I'm driven by challenges, and I like to do stuff.
I can see that.
I like to do stuff, and so I put my working experience to starting up a leadership school, which is called the David Abraham Leadership School. David Abraham Leadership School.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm involved with that. I train some very, very high-profile business leaders. That allows me to travel to the US to do that, and I still do that in the UK as well. But I want to start to slow down now.
Yeah.
I always promise myself that I want to come back home.
You sound like you're looking towards retirement.
Absolutely.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm turned 50 on Christmas Day last year.
Okay.
I realized it hit me so hard. I went to the UK when I was 21, and I'm 51 now.
Yeah.
I've never stopped working.
Yes.
I've always been working for 30 years. And there's more to life than just to work.
That's true.
I have a lot of things that I want to put in books in terms of writing, and things that I want to share with the world in terms of my expertise. The little that I've learned, I want to put those things in books. And I've learned a lot from a lot of people. Okay. It's not been an easy journey. It's been tough, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Of course.
Not in a million years.
If you could change anything in your past, you wouldn't change anything.
Never.
Nice.
No regrets.
I like that.
Never. We live for the now, and this is the life that I choose. I get to come here and just be me.
It's fresh here. Would you be willing to mentor, new upcoming farmers who also want to achieve what you have?
I do that quite a lot, but I am somebody who's very protective of his time in terms of when I'm mentoring somebody, I want people to be serious. Don't take things for granted in life, but also don't take what somebody gives you for granted, because I've made a lot of mistakes from the experiences that I've had, and trying to make sure that what has taken me so long doesn't take you, because we now have the expertise, we now have the experience to say don't take that route, but go this way. I don't like people who don't honor their word. If we say we're going to do something, we do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yes, I've always done that, and it's amongst anything else that I do. I think that's the best part of my life.
If you could change one thing in Zimbabwe to improve the business environment, what would it be?
That's a difficult question, because business in Zim is hard, eh? I guess on a personal note is, if we can do what we can do to try and change our own environment. We try and make sure we look after our staff, and we give them somewhere to live which is comfortable. They've got electricity here. Our solar is non-stop. It never goes off. Got clean water. The facilities are good. So if we were to change things, if anything that I would want us to do as local businesses, people, I think the most important thing is to look after our people. Just pay them a fair wage.
Amen.
Yeah, just pay them a fair wage.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
and I hope a lot of employers are listening around Zimbabwe.
And just pay them on time as well. Have a little bit of consistency.
Okay.
Our relationship with money has to change as business people. We have to not just do it for ourselves.
But for everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gibson. I appreciate your
Absolutely,
time
buddy.
bringing me on.
Appreciate.
Thank you so much.
And I hope you enjoy your organic mbuzi.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Absolutely.
So guys, that's the end of the video. This was my tour of HUGO Farm here in Hwedza, guys. Can you believe Gibson, the farm owner, actually slaughtered a goat for me, guys? So I'm leaving this place with some delicious goat meat, which I'm going to enjoy, guys. But if you want to buy chickens in bulk, there are chickens here. If you want to farm chickens, guys, you can learn, and he's willing to impart knowledge. But of course, knowledge is wealth, so yeah, don't take it for granted. When you come to learn, come serious, come and learn. But that's all from me, Mr. Zim. I hope you guys have been inspired. It's been a pleasure making this video for you guys. Until the next one, cheers, guys.